What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So as you can probably tell by the title and literally everything else, this is my first build with the new Werewolves game pack. I'm building on the little starter home lot, the 20 by 15 lot in Moonwood Mill. And it's safe to say that I am absolutely obsessed with all the new items in this pack. The world is absolutely stunning. I did some gameplay last night over on Twitch. If you did not know, I do stream on Twitch a few times a week. I'll link everything in the description box down below, so if you want to go ahead and follow me over there. If you're interested in streams, then you can definitely go ahead and do so. That is not the point of what I'm trying to say though. As soon as I installed the pack last night, I went live over on Twitch to do a little bit of gameplay and like check out the stuff in the pack and just sort of like a little first impression, and also just mainly to do some gameplay because let me tell you, I am not an occult gameplay simmer. But this one had me really excited and I just really wanted to check out the world like as I was playing the game with a sim, if that makes sense. So that is what I did. And my first impression of the world is it's so gorgeous. It's so well made. And even though it only has 5 lots, it feels so big. I mean, it is very big, but when you're like loaded into one specific lot, there's so many more areas that you can explore. Like it almost feels like kind of open world-y, if that makes sense. So that is something I really, really love about it. And I love how this world overall just feels very gloomy in a sense and just a little bit moody, and it's just so pretty. The whole vibe of it. I love me some industrial little details and stuff, like industrial builds and stuff. So like the old factories and everything else in this world. Just the whole vibe is amazing. I love it so much. So needless to say, I was feeling extremely inspired to do a little build with this pack. So this is the first one that I'm doing. It is a little cabin for a werewolf, obviously. That only makes sense. And it ends up being a 2-bedroom little cabin. It actually turned out a little bit bigger than I was planning, and I really, really like that. So you can use this for, I don't know, maybe a loner, like single, like wolf who's living alone. But you could also use it for a small family because it does have 2 bedrooms and like one with a single bed and one with a double bed. So you could have a family of 3 living here, or maybe make the second bedroom or the bedroom downstairs into a shared bedroom with the new bunk beds from this pack. That's also something you could do. So I feel like it's a very usable little house. And I am obsessed with all the weathered looking, worn looking items and textures and everything in this game. This weathered looking paneling that I'm using on the exterior is just so pretty. I love it so much. And it comes in so many interesting colorways as well. For this specific color scheme for the exterior, I went with the light blue version of the paneling, and then I combined it with some like tan brown colors as well, and then also a few little details of brick. So this is a cabin. I'm using mainly wood for this cabin, like for the structure of the house, but I'm also using some brick here and there. So it's kind of like a combination between like a cabin in the woods, but also sort of industrial. Like some aspects of it are more on the industrial side, which I do not know how realistic that is, but I just really wanted to play around with both of the styles basically, because we have so many fun things that complement that style in this new pack. So that is really what I was trying to figure out. Also, I didn't mention this, but this is only werewolves and base game. So if you have only werewolves, or if you do not have all the packs, but you do have werewolves, then you can download this house and use it no problem, because it literally only uses the werewolves pack and base game, obviously. So yeah, that makes it fairly easy to download for everyone. And this was just a very nice way for me to focus really on all the new items, because for the next build that I'm doing, which I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet, probably something a little bit bigger than this. And then I really want to try and use or like have all my other packs installed as well, so I can really try and see how This pack combines with different packs because I feel like it would go really, really well with specific packs. So that is something that I want to try out for my next video. But for this one, I really, really just wanted to focus on the new items from the new pack, basically. So that is why I decided to make it a limited pack build. And that was very successful. I love how this house came together. I was so inspired. This build literally only took me an hour and 30 minutes, I believe, to build, which for me is extremely fast. I am like the slowest builder in the world. I am very indecisive. I just build very, very slowly. But this one came together so fast because I was feeling so inspired. And also, I mean, probably also because it is a limited pack build. So I didn't have as many decisions. Like my options were a little bit more on the limited side, which is very, very nice from time to time. So yeah, this build came together very, very fast and I was just really enjoying it. You can see that it looks very weathered. It's a very old little cabin. It's very old and used and not really looked after that well, if that makes sense. Like it definitely could use a little bit of a paint job. It's not getting that because there is a werewolf living in this cabin is what I was thinking. I was really trying to figure out a little storyline for this house as I was building it. But I was so focused on checking out all the new stuff that I wasn't really that focused basically on figuring out the storyline. But I was thinking I actually built it with a single sim, a loner kind of wolf in mind. So they're living here by themselves, and I was thinking that they are pretty new to being a werewolf. And this cabin got like passed down to them. Because it used to belong to their grandma is what I was thinking. And their grandma was also a werewolf, or maybe both their grandparents were werewolves basically. But then, yeah, this sim is pretty new to being a werewolf. So I was thinking they're pretty young, like they're basically young adults, or maybe even like an older teenager. That is possible as well. And yeah, they're very new to being a werewolf. The werewolf gen basically just got passed down to them, but it skipped their parents' generation is what I was thinking. So their parents or anyone else in their family who's still alive aren't werewolves. And their parents probably never told them about this because their parents were like, you know what? The werewolf gen skipped our generation. So my kids should probably be like safe, I figured is what their parents were thinking. So maybe their mom was a werewolf and then their mom's mom, or their mom was not a werewolf, but their mom's mom was a werewolf, if that makes sense. So at some point, obviously this sim kind of noticed that and they found out that they were a werewolf and they decided, you know what, I'm just gonna move out of the house. I'm gonna move into grandma's old little cottage that probably had been like empty for years. So, which is why it definitely needs some love. But yeah, since the sim is being like, they're so new to being a werewolf, they're really not used to it. They're still really trying to make sense of it all, really trying to figure out how everything works. And they probably also just really can't control themselves as well just yet. Like whenever they turn, they probably get quite violent and aggressive. And which is why it's safe for them to actually live here by themselves. So that they don't bring anyone else into it or like hurt anyone in their family, stuff like that. And maybe, which is a little bit more on the sad side, but maybe their parents don't really want to have anything to do with them anymore because they are a werewolf and they were like, you know what? You gotta leave the house, goodbye. We really do not want to have anything to do with this. Like that is also a possibility, which is really, really sad. But yeah, you can really tell that this person is very new to being a werewolf. I was also thinking that they do quite a bit of research. I gave them a little office, which I also turned into a second bedroom. So it's like an office / bedroom. And they have a little computer in there and you can see that I scattered some like books and stuff around. So they're really, really trying to make sense of it all and like learn as much as they can about the whole like werewolf thing and the lunar cycles and everything else basically. And I feel like at some point they will probably also start making some friends here in Moonwood Mill. They will find some other werewolves that they get along with, stuff like that. And at some point I feel like they will like really thrive in Moonwood Mill being a werewolf. So I thought that was quite fun of a storyline to play around with. But you can see that this little cabin is very, very torn and weathered, and it has a lot, you can't really tell that just yet, but it will have a lot of cracks in the wall and a lot of scratches and just a lot of stuff going on. It's very messy in here in the sense that it's very torn looking. And that is exactly what I was trying to go for. I love, love, love all the new stuff from this new pack. The couch, I think, might be my favorite item. We also have some very cute clutter items like the books and stuff that I placed on the dining table. That is just perfect. And like the desk made out of a door, it's just genius. It's so freaking cool. And like the couch, I feel like is pretty usable. It's very versatile. Because, I mean, it's like patched up and stuff, but it's not actually very torn looking. So I feel like that could also be used in like an apartment or like a student's apartment or like a single parent's little house or something like that. I feel like that would work very well in different sorts of builds. So I was really happy to see that. And overall, like just the weathered furniture is my absolute favorite. The dining table that's held up by a little book, for example, and the dining chairs are just perfect as well. And also the small telescope, I feel like is so, so cute. We have one in the base game as well, which is very, very exciting. And then there is another version that comes with the Werewolves pack as well. I place it here on the front porch, which makes it so that it's not actually usable because it counts as being inside. So if you want to actually use the telescope, then just drag it. I think you can drag it, I'm not actually sure. Or you just go into build mode for a second and place it on the grass in front of the house or behind the house, and then you can use it. But I just really, really liked how it looked on the front porch. So I just put it there for decor purposes, basically. But yeah, you can really see the house come together. It has a tiny little kitchen, but I love it so much. And I don't know, I feel like the house has so much character to it. It's very small, but it's quite colorful because the items in this pack come in a lot of matching, thank God, matching colors, but like very nice, bright, pastel, softer looking colors that I just really, really love. So that was a huge bonus as well. And then the rug that I'm using, I love that we have this more weathered, like torn version, as well as a quote unquote regular version, if that makes sense. So yeah, I love that as well, that we have both those options. So that makes it a little bit more usable as well, because you don't want to use this this torn version in every single build, is what I would say. But yeah, here is where I decided that this office was big enough to make it into a second bedroom or like an extra bedroom. And I was thinking that maybe this sim secretly has a friend from the magic realm that comes over from time to time. So they're friends with a spellcaster, which is kind of a taboo, maybe. Werewolves do not really like spellcasters, I don't think, and they absolutely hate vampires. But I feel like they don't really like spellcasters that much either. So I was thinking, I mean, maybe I got that wrong. I still really have to figure out the lore in this pack. There's a bunch of lore that I really have to learn about, but I was thinking that maybe they secretly have a friend who is a spellcaster. They got to know them somehow. I don't know exactly how, but that doesn't really matter. And they come over from time to time, all the way from like the magic realm is what I was imagining. So they sleep over in the second bedroom, so it definitely gets used, and the spellcaster just kind of helps the werewolf, trying to make sense of it all and like learning with them as much as they can about werewolves to like try and help their friend with how this all works and how they can like gain control over this whole situation. They probably know a lot about like lunar cycles and the sun and the moon in general. I don't know. I feel like that would just be a really fun combination of sims. So yeah, they have a friend from the magic realm who stays over like maybe 2 days a month or so. I don't know. Or whenever they can travel, basically, and stay over for a few days. I feel like that would be really cute, so they're not alone all the time. And here you can see the quote-unquote master bedroom is upstairs, and it's like a little lofted situation. So we have a staircase, obviously, going up to the second floor, and you can see that it's a little loft, and I just put a double bed up here, and then that cute little dresser from this pack. I really like that one, like the stacked suitcases, basically. They're not really suitcases, but I'm sure that you know what I mean. And then, yeah, I combined it with some base game more like older traditional looking items that I felt like went really well with this pack. And I feel like overall this pack is very easy to combine with just the base game. We have a lot of stuff in the base game that just goes very nicely with this pack. I also only used base game windows because the windows from this pack, as much as I love them, they're a bit too industrial for this cottagey style of house. So I did use the more industrial door over here on the side, but the windows were just a little bit too much. But that is basically it for this build, so let's quickly jump right into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the little cabin in the game. I love how it looks in this world. It fits here perfectly, which makes sense because it's literally only using base game and the Werewolves pack. But still, like the whole style of build, I feel like suits this area nicely. So it does take up basically the whole lot, so I didn't really have a lot of space for a backyard or anything, but we do have this little side yard over here with some planter boxes. And then back here we also have a fire pit, which I thought was cute, and then also a little bit of a hidden woodworking bench. I did want to make sure to add some skill building items, so that is what I did. And then we also have a back door over here with a outdoors trash can. But then over here we have the front porch that is actually quite spacious. So I put some extra planter pots up here, and then also this gorgeous little plant from the new pack. I love this one so much. I also made sure to place a bench and a little telescope. It doesn't work when it's like on the front porch, but if you actually want to use it, you can just click it and drag it to wherever you want to put it, and then your sim can actually use it. So it's very easy to do that. But then when we go inside, we have the very torn, weathered little place in here. It's still very colorful though, which is what I really like about it. So over here we have the front door and a little entryway area with a punched mirror that is held together with some tape. I love that detail. And then we have the dining table over here next to the front door as well, with some knickknacks on it. And then the main living area over here. I mean, did I go overboard with the scratches and like the tears on the wall? I mean, maybe, but I still really love it. So we have the couch and this gorgeous mirror over it, and then the classic cinema chair. And I also gave them a television because I just thought that was nice. And then over here we have the little office slash second bedroom. So we have an extra bed over here in the corner, this precious little clock. I love that one so much. And then over here we have the desk made out of a door, just perfect. And then I placed a computer on top, and then this pack actually also comes with some gorgeous bookcases, and I placed one of them over here. This one is quite narrow, so it fits in this little nook perfectly. And then when we go upstairs, we have the lofted situation, which is the master bedroom. So just a double bed and then a dresser and a chair over here. And then I love the lighting in here, which has everything to do with this roofing texture with the skylights. I'm so happy that we got that in this pack. It's such an amazing addition, and I love what it does for your builds lighting wise. It's just gorgeous. And then obviously we also have the kitchen over here. I almost forgot to show you this one. It's a very teeny tiny little kitchen. I love it though. It's nothing fancy, and it just has the coffee maker as an extra appliance. And then this corner counter is free of decorations. So that is what your Sims can use for cooking. And then off of the kitchen, we have the very basic little bathroom. It's quite simple, but I feel like it still fits this house very nicely. But that is basically it for this build. So this Werewolves cabin is up on the gallery, and it comes in at just over 36,000 simoleons. So the price of this house is actually really nice. It's not too expensive, and that is very realistic. The items in this pack are actually very nicely priced, so they did a really good job on that. It uses only base game and Werewolves, so it should be very easy for you to download as long as you have the new pack. And I built it on a 20x15 in Moonwood Mills. So if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that's actually going to do it for this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. Like I mentioned, I also stream on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, just go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmarySims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!